Every single day, thousands of new investors open a brokerage account, search for an ETF, and pick the wrong one. Not because they're stupid, not because they didn't try, but because the way ETFs are presented makes it almost impossible to choose correctly without knowing what to look for. Today, I'm going to show you the 4 most common wrong choices and exactly what to pick instead. Wrong choice number 1. Picking the ETF with the best recent returns. This is the most natural thing in the world. You search for ETFs, sort by performance, and pick the one at the top. But here's what actually happens. In 2020, our key innovation ETF, ticker ARKK, gained 150% in a single year. It was everywhere. YouTube, Reddit, financial news. Millions of beginners piled in at the peak. By the end of 2022, ARKK had lost 75% from its high. The people who bought at the peak because of its amazing performance, they lost 3/4 of their money. This pattern repeats constantly in the ETF world. The funds that show up on best performers lists are almost always at or near their peak, right before they crash back down. Chasing performance is one of the most reliable ways to lose money in investing. Wrong choice number 2, ignoring the expense ratio. The expense ratio is the annual fee the ETF charges you to manage the fund. It's deducted automatically. You never see it leave your account directly. And because of that, most beginners completely ignore it. Here's why that's a catastrophic mistake. Let's say you invest $100,000 and leave it for 30 years at 10% annual growth. With VOO, expense ratio 0.03%. You end up with around $760,000. With an actively managed ETF charging 1.2% per year, same market, same returns, you end up with around $590,000. That's $170,000 difference. Gone, just from fees. And 1.2% sounds tiny, less than 1.5%. But compounded over 30 years, it destroys your wealth silently. Rule: never buy an ETF with an expense ratio above 0.20% for your core holdings. The best index ETFs charge 0.03% to 0.07%. Everything above that needs a very good reason. Wrong choice number 3. Going too narrow. ETFs exist for everything now. Cannabis ETFs, space exploration ETFs, clean energy ETFs, social media ETFs, metaverse ETFs. They sound exciting. They feel like investing in the future. But here's the reality. The more specific the ETF, the more concentrated your risk. Instead of owning 500 companies, you own 15. Instead of being diversified across the whole economy, you're betting on one trend. The ARK Space Exploration ETF lost 70% from its peak. The cannabis ETFs lost over 80%. Most single-theme ETFs have dramatically underperformed the simple S&P 500. The irony is that broad, boring ETFs like VOO, which cover everything, almost always beat the exciting thematic ones over any meaningful time period. Thematic ETFs are fine for a small speculative position, maybe 5% of your portfolio, but they should never be your core investment. Wrong choice number 4, buying multiple ETFs that hold the same stocks. This one is subtle but incredibly common. A beginner thinks, I'll diversify. I'll buy VOO, QQQ, and a tech sector ETF. But here's the problem. VOO tracks the S&P 500, which is 30% technology companies. QQQ tracks the NASDAQ 100, which is 50% the same tech companies. The tech sector ETF, even more of the same companies. You now own Apple, Microsoft, and Nvidia 3 times over. You think you have 3 different investments. You actually have one investment, heavily concentrated in big tech, spread across 3 funds. This is called portfolio overlap, and it creates a false sense of security. When tech crashes, and it will, like it did in 2022, all 3 funds fall together. Your diversified portfolio drops just as hard as if you'd bought one fund. The fix is simple. Check what's inside your ETFs before you buy. Use a free tool like ETF.com to see the holdings. Make sure your funds cover different parts of the market. So how do you actually pick the right ETF? 4 criteria. Simple. 1. Broad market coverage. You want an ETF that holds at least 500 companies across multiple sectors. Not 15, not 50, hundreds. 2. Expense ratio below 0.10%. Ideally, 0.03% to 0.07%. If it's higher, there needs to be a very specific reason. 3. No significant overlap with your other holdings. Use ETF.com to check the top holdings before you buy anything new. 4. Track record of at least 10 years. New ETFs with no history are guesswork. Stick to funds that have survived at least one major market crash. For most beginners, the answer is one of 3 ETFs. VOO, S&P 500, 500 US companies, 0.03% fee. VTI, total US market, over 3,500 companies, 0.03% fee. VXUS, international market for global diversification, 0.07% fee. Start there. Keep it simple. The complexity can come later, once you understand the basics. Boring is the strategy.